Martin Truex Jr. is expected to announce his retirement tomorrow. The leading candidate to replace him may surprise you. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. This is an unplanned episode. I've got no notes, no script, no nothing. All I've got to go off of is a Jordan Bianchi bomb. Yeah, The Athletic reporting that Martin Truex Jr. will retire at the end of this season. An official announcement is expected tomorrow. My initial reaction to this news is kind of mixed. Like, it's not surprising. We've seen it coming really for almost 3 years now. Go back to 2022, we were kind of in the same boat. Martin Truex Jr. mulling retirement. I'll come back. 2023, what's he gonna do? I'll come back. 2024, the only difference this year is the team has obviously been putting more pressure on him because there are so many other free agent candidates currently available. JGR has options. If Truex is planning to step away at season's end, they need to know so they can pursue said options. They want to have their pick of the best candidates available. They don't want someone else to come in and scoop them all up while Truex is still in the corner scratching his head trying to make a decision. So, like I said earlier this week, I completely understand why Joe Gibbs was putting more pressure on Martin to make a quicker decision this time around. And the decision itself, again, is not surprising. Truex has been kicking the can down the road the past couple of years. He is the oldest full-time NASCAR Cup Series driver. He's about to turn 44. We could all see this coming. I'm glad he's making the announcement, midway through the year. Technically, we're not even halfway through the season yet, so there's still plenty of time, many weeks, many months for fans of his, for the entire industry, to celebrate his great career. As we discussed yesterday, Truex is a 34-time winner. The 2017 championship run he went on is one of the most unlikely, most improbable championship stories in modern NASCAR history, that a single car team based in Colorado, Furniture Row Racing, could take it to the big guns. Yes, I know they had a technical alliance with Joe Gibbs Racing, but it was still Barney Visser's team. Cole Pern rocking the plain t-shirt atop the pit box every week, leading Martin Truex Jr. and that entire group to glory. 2017 will be remembered for a long, long time. Truex is also a two-time Xfinity Series champion. He's been to 5 championship fours. He's clearly a future Hall of Famer, likely a first ballot Hall of Famer in about 3 years when he becomes eligible. So I'm glad that he's making this decision now, so we have the rest of this year to celebrate that. He deserves it. But the reason I say I'm mixed on this is because, yes, while he's older, while he hasn't won a race since last summer, it's been almost a full year, it's hard to argue Truex isn't still near or at the top of his game. Like, I know he's not winning races. Weird things keep taking him out of contention, like Sonoma last weekend, running out of gas. Richmond earlier this year, Denny maybe jumped the final restart. He's still top 5 in points right now. And less than a year ago, he was the regular season champion. So, like, Martin Truex Jr. is planning to retire at year's end. He could make some noise in the playoffs this year. Like, he's not the championship favorite, but he's one of the guys in contention for a championship 4 spot. Like, it's not crazy to think Martin Truex Jr. could be racing for a championship in his final NASCAR Cup Series start. So that's why I say I'm mixed, because I think he's still one of the top 5 or 7 or so best drivers the series currently has, but at the same time, he's earned the right to step away under his own terms and celebrate the great career he's had. So I'm mixed on this announcement, but obviously, it's not my announcement to make. It's Martin Truex Jr.'s announcement. I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say tomorrow. Congratulations, MTJ, on a wonderful career, regardless of what happens the second half of this season. Now, let's talk about what happens next, because as much honor and tribute as Martin Truex Jr. deserves, the nature of this sport is next man up. One domino falls, 20 more fill its place. Wait, that analogy doesn't make sense. See, this is what happens when I don't have notes or script. But anyway, no disrespect to Martin Truex Jr., but we do have to talk about his replacement, because a seat at Joe Gibbs Racing is open, and there are half a dozen or more candidates, I believe, for that ride. A couple weeks ago, Bob Pockrass, writing for Fox Sports, reported that Eric Jones, Noah Gragson, and Chase Briscoe were potential candidates to take over the 19. Today, The Athletic's Jordan Bianchi confirmed that Chase Briscoe is the team's leading candidate. Chase Briscoe is 29 years old. He's in his 4th full-time NASCAR Cup Series season. He spent his entire Cup career with Stewart-Haas Racing. He spent basically his entire NASCAR career with Ford. gosh, can you imagine Ford losing Chase Briscoe to Toyota? The hits just keep on coming for the Blue Ovals, my goodness. Ford has held Briscoe in extremely high regard. In 2022, Briscoe got his first, and so far only, Cup Series win. He made it all the way to the round of 8 in the playoffs last year, an impressive deep playoff run. I'm not surprised to hear that Chase Briscoe is the leading candidate. Remember a few weeks back when we talked about all of the Stewart-Haas free agents, I said then that in my opinion, Chase Briscoe is the closest of the group to becoming a legit championship contender. Josh Berry, I think, has that potential, especially if he continues to work with Rodney Childers. Noah Gragson, we've seen glimpses of his ceiling, but I think he's still got a long ways to grow. Chase Briscoe's the closest. He's not there yet, but he's the closest. I'm very high on Chase Briscoe. I'm not surprised to hear that Joe Gibbs Racing is high on him as well. Joe Gibbs Racing is not expected to make any official announcement this week, but keep an eye on Chase Briscoe to Joe Gibbs Racing. I know there have been some wild rumors this week that Kyle Busch could return to Joe Gibbs Racing. And to be fair, there are some, I would say, semi-realistic circumstances where that could have happened. Kyle Busch returning to Joe Gibbs Racing would be a dramatic storyline, I'll admit it, but he's in an option year with RCR. The team has the option, but why on earth would RCR let Kyle Busch walk? He's the only thing keeping that team remotely relevant at this moment, at least on the Cup Series side. What I want to know with the 19 is, what is sponsorship going to look like going forward? Because Bass Pro Shops keeps getting thrown around. They like Noah Gragson. They've been with Martin Truex. With Truex gone, will they support Chase Briscoe? Does that mean Noah Gragson could swoop in and potentially nab the 19 ride if the price is right? What other sponsors does Joe Gibbs Racing have? You'll go back to a story from about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, when Ricky Stenhouse Jr. re-signed with JTG Doherty. We all reacted to the fact that Jody and Tad Geschecter don't seem to be involved with that team anymore. Tad Geschecter is very close with the Kroger brand, Kroger Racing. There's rumblings out there that he's now collaborating with Joe Gibbs Racing. So could we see in the future the Kroger colors on a Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota, maybe Chase Briscoe's Toyota? I think that's realistic. I think that's possible. Just speculation on my part, but it's me piecing together some of the dots we have seen in recent weeks. So I'm not too worried about sponsorship. Chase Briscoe is a good enough young driver. You figure out the sponsorship later. Like you do what 23XI did with Tyler Reddick. They signed him out from under RCR, figured out the sponsorship later. Monster Energy came in. The Jordan brand, they self-sponsor some cars for Reddick. He's just that good. They wanted him, they got him. Chase Briscoe, I think, is in a very similar category. He's had some good runs with Stewart-Haas the last 3-4 years, but let's be honest. The moment Chase Briscoe got to Cup, Stewart-Haas started to go like this. 2020, Kevin Harvick looked nearly invincible. 2021, Harvick was winless. That was Chase Briscoe's first full-time Cup Series season. So he boarded a struggling, sinking ship. Chase Briscoe in a fully funded elite Joe Gibbs Racing ride, watch out. Just saying. I'm a huge believer in Chase Briscoe. Everyone seems to like him. His current team likes him. You can tell he puts in the work. He has put in the work. You can even see since he got to the Cup Series, he's slimmed down. He's clearly gotten in better shape. Like, the dude is committed. Great skill and talent as well. We saw him win 9 Xfinity Series races in a single season. He knows how to drive a race car. He also knows how to put in the work. I'm not worried about commitment with Chase Briscoe. So I'm a big Chase Briscoe fan. So that's my initial reaction. I'm happy for Martin Truex Jr. that he gets to celebrate a fantastic career. Is 44 years old too young to retire? Who's anyone really to say? The guy's accomplished so much in this sport. It's a grind. You're traveling 40 plus weekends a year in most cases. Like, that's a lot of work. Yes, the money is good. You're a Cup Series driver, but let's be honest, it's not quite as good as it was maybe 10 years ago in most cases. Martin Truex Jr. is a champion. He has earned the right to go out on his own terms. I'm excited for him to hopefully get to celebrate his career over the next few months. On the flip side, if Chase Briscoe ends up in a Joe Gibbs Racing seat, I'm just saying, watch out. Not a done deal. There's some other candidates floating about, but I'd be curious to see what a Briscoe JGR pairing could make happen. Leave a comment down below your initial reaction to this news that Martin Truex Jr. is expected to retire at the end of this year. Tomorrow there's a press conference out at Iowa Speedway, so we'll have to hear what he says there. Yeah, thank you all for watching this episode. Leave a like if you enjoyed, it helps me out a ton. Subscribe if you're new to the show. We talk NASCAR every single day. Get the latest content and commentary right here every single week. And a big thank you to my Patreon supporters as well. I will catch you all again later. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday, folks. Thanks for tuning in.